Hi, this is Leigh Ambergy, stampwithleigh.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Metro, Ohio, and thank you for tuning in on my video today. I just wanted to give you, in case you haven't seen it, a peek of the new annual catalog. This is the front of the cover. This is the back. Per Stampin' Up! Policy, I cannot open up and show you the inside of this until the catalog goes live, and I believe it is May 6th. Yep. So pretty soon, you'll be able to get to order from the new catalog. Just wanted to give you a little sneaky peek of that. And then this is the card that we'll be working on. I'm going to be working on for my video. Let me get my notes up here. Yeah, a very plain and simple card. Features black and white. And this is the Botanical Textures Designer Series paper. And I believe that is an online product. And just to point out a few things, the banner here is from the Nested Essentials dies. This will be a carryover item. It will be in the new catalog. The stamp set I used for this is Simply Said, and I believe, oh, now I can't remember. I think that one is being carried over. I think there's another card I want to feature and do a video on where that stamp set is on the last, they've already announced, on the last chance list. So, but I believe is Simply Said. Yep, Simply Said. This one is carrying over. And I use this stamp set a lot. A lot. I like the bold fonts. They're not too big. They're not overwhelming. And then you have a few that's got kind of like a script, kind of a funky script font for that. So that's what we're using for this. I am also using the black and very vanilla large check gingham ribbon. And this, I don't recall seeing this on the last chance list. It might be, gosh, I hope it hasn't sold out. But I did not see it in the new annual catalog. That doesn't mean it can't appear on the online exclusives. So yeah, things are from the current catalog. Things will transition to either the last chance list, which is kind of like our previous retired list. Some items are discounted on the last chance list. Some items are not. But they will transition and move to there until they're gone. Or items will transition to online exclusives. And then chances are, once they are sold out of the online listing, they're gone. So this is the card that was made at a recent class, and I'm just going to change it up a little bit. You know me. I just want to dress it up just a little bit. So if you are watching this video from my YouTube channel, in the description box, there is a link that will take you to my blog post. My blog is stampwithleigh.com, and just copy and paste that link. It will take you to the blog post for this card, and there will be a list of all the material that I've used for this card, and there will also be the dimensions that I've used for this card. So, and I'm thinking I've got everything I need to make this card. But yeah, I had everything set up in my stamp room, and then life got in the way and I walked away, and then I was like, I wanted to film some videos. So I just came in and started a video. So I hope I have everything. We'll find out. I did go ahead off camera and color my ribbon with a blends, and I used a dark granny apple green for the blends, and it does make it a little bit stiffer, but that's fine. But yeah, you want to make sure, if you're going to color ribbon with the blends, that you give the ribbon time to dry. If not, you're just going to have a hot, smeary mess wherever you're trying to put it. So yeah, ask me how I know that, because that means I did that. All right, so what I'm going to do here is, like I said, I'm just going to step this up just a little bit And the only way I'm doing that is adding a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock and throwing that into the mix. And I'm just going to mount my Designer Series paper onto that, and that's just going to go on my card base. I'm going to finish coloring this. I did not want to bore you with me sitting here coloring my Designer Series paper with my blends. And just remember, blends, they do bleed through the alcohol ink. So that will go there. And then this is just stamping my greeting and doing some die cutting. So let me go ahead and finish coloring this. And I colored this with a light Granny Apple Green. And if you're wondering, this is, my blends get used and abused at my classes. So that just means that the brush tip end, it's shot, it's kaput. So I put tape on that because someone will go and try to use it and it just doesn't work. So I'm just coloring in the leaf pattern on this Designer Series paper. And even though this is the light, if I want to go back, you can always go back once your ink has dried, and it blends dry pretty well, pretty fast. I can just go back and add some shading if I want. Because this Designer Series paper has the shading on it. So it makes it really simple, just to keep it one simple, easy color. So let me get my adhesive, and we're going to, and I just cleaned looks like I just cleaned my glass mat. So I really don't want to make a mess on that. I'm going to get my silicone mat out. Try to keep the mess under control, but there's no guarantees. And let's see if I can get this to where it looks somewhat centered. And I see I didn't get it up at the top enough. All right. My adhesive did not have time to set up. So let's try it again. Okay. Alrighties. Now we're just going to start layering. So I'm going to layer my Designer Series paper to my Granny Apple Green. So this is the piece of cardstock that I'm adding. This is not originally in the design mix there. And the Designer Series paper, the botanical textures, that is all black and white cardstock. All right, so now I'm going to attach this to my card. And I am using my grid lines on my glass mat to help me. I've got my card base here, 5.5 by 8.5, piece of basic white. All right, so far that's that. Let me pull in a mat. Let me stamp my greeting. Just a note. And I'm using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Close up my ink pad before I stick my fingers in it. And is that going to show? Yes, it is. So somehow I got ink just a little bit right there at the top. So, oh, you know why? Because I have ink on my fingers. That explains a lot. All right, let's try it again. Hopefully hopefully I've gotten all the ink off my fingers. But now I just, okay, there we go. Okay, we're gonna start over. Maybe I guess that's what I get for closing up my ink pad so soon. Okay, much better. The mat out of the way, I'm gonna set that there. I do have off to the side, I have my Stampin' Cut Mini, and I'm going to first die cut the one banner. Like I said, these were the Nested Essentials dies. Run that through that piece. Right, and this piece. And I'm moving this over just a little bit. Yeah, I'm not doing it right in the middle. I'm moving my die over just a little bit because I know I'm going to be putting ribbon there. Got a piece of paper tape, and I think I look like I'm pretty much centered. We'll find out. We'll find out in a minute. So how much you want exposed is just strictly up to you with my adhesive. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. I'm not going to do as much on this one as I did on that one. I'm going to make this one a little bit smaller. Get this lined up right. Looks good. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, I probably could have moved that over even more. All right, I'm going to, you can run this all the way around and tie a bow, and my fingers don't work while doing that. So I always run my ribbon just around. Sometimes if I'm using the linen thread, I will wrap it around because it's linen thread, it's much thinner. But I am just going to get this off to the side and just attach it with my glue dots. Then I'm going to run this through. Sometimes this stays in place, sometimes it doesn't. So you can set a clear block. Sometimes your snips will work. Just something to hold that in place while you're working. All right, I've just tied a simple knot. That one looks a little bit longer. Okay, I've got some black dimensionals. And I'm just going to pop this up with black dimensionals. And then it's just a matter of where I want this. This one I lined it up with the edge of my designer series paper, and that's cute. But I don't know, do I want this one over more, or do I want it in the same place? Or do I want it over even more? I think I'm gonna put mine over even just a little bit more. There we go. So yeah, so that's it. So that's our my easy basic card today. I just, like I said, this one is fine this way. I like this. This one, I just added a piece of Granny Apple Green cardstock underneath my designer series paper. I just added one more layer, one more element to my card. So again, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. Have a great day. Bye.